Oh, hello, we meet again. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know what it is. It's that time of year again that I just want to get rid of everything. I just look at my stuff and I think, I don't need you anymore. We had fun, but it's not a forever thing. I really just want to get rid of stuff. I was actually very inspired. I was reading this book, Japanese Interiors. I believe that's the name. If not, I will post it and I will clarify what it looks like. And I was moved by the minimalism and the approach to decoration. And I just wanted to redecorate my shelf. I wanted to get rid of things. I have an idea for when I hit a certain amount of subscribers that I want to do a giveaway. So I want to get books available for that, and then I think once maybe I hit an even further amount of subscribers, I'm going to do something in New York City where I give away some books. To be determined, though. So yeah, I don't really have a method for this right now, but I think I'm just going to start with some books here and then go through my shelf. I also have some books over there, and then I've also got some books in storage, so this is just going to be a whole thing. This is going to be a long video, so buckle up, strap in, put me on in the background, or clean with me, whatever you want to do, because this is going to be a long video and it's humid and I feel like hopefully this is exciting and fun. So let's just start over here. Okay, so right now we are looking at my most obvious little collection of books right here. You might have just watched my most recent video where I was talking about short books that you can read in a day. So a lot of those books are here because I just had them out not too long ago and I haven't put them back on my shelves, but I figured, why would I put them back on my shelves if I'm just gonna be going through them? I also have a bag of books here. And then, I have some advanced reader's copies down here of books that I need to read. Is this... I should probably lower it. Is that better for the people at home? Let's start with these. This is actually a book that I haven't talked about on the channel, but I want to read this soon. This is Mothers by Domenica Ruta. This was sent to me by Domenica, which is so sweet. A hilarious novel about a single mom reimagining what the perfect family can look like. Sandy thought she was making her greatest mistake yet when she got unexpectedly pregnant in her mid-30s by a dating app flop. Now her baby Rosie is the love of her life, but trying to co-parent with her daughter's dad, a wannabe rock star, is a challenge and seems to be veering into catastrophe territory when Sandy finds out through social media that her daughter has a half-sibling Sandy doesn't know about. I actually might read that this month. Yeah, feels like a good summer book, so I got to read that. Crooked Seeds by Karen Jennings. I'm going to keep that because I want to talk about it at the end of the year, but I probably will give away at some point. Katie Couric, Going There. This was given to me at an event, and to be honest, I'm probably not going to read that. So that's going to go in my giveaway pile. I don't think I need this. Bill Gates, Source Code. My Beginnings. I'm actually quite intrigued to read this. I think sometimes it's interesting to read somebody's story who you might not necessarily agree with. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that. Gerald's Gang by Stephen King. I just got this, so that is in my keep pile. Patty Clark, Ha Ha Ha. I just got this. It's funny because there's no synopsis of what this is about, but oh, I just inhaled some dust. Okay, I'm gonna keep Less Than Zero by Bret Easton Ellis because I just love that cover. I think it's very sexy, very fun, very cute, and I want it. Pedro Paramo by Juan Rolfo. I think I'll probably give this away. Great book. Maybe I'll reread it. I don't know, but for right now, I'll put it in my get rid of pile. If I decide not to read it by the end of this year, I think I would rather somebody else enjoy it. Friday Black, I've talked about this. I'm going to keep this because I'll talk about it at the end of the year. Interpreter of Maladies by Jhumpa Lahiri. Obviously just talked about that. Going to keep that. Beren Yoshimoto, Lizard. I'm going to probably get rid of that because I read that last year and I don't need to talk about it again. Blue Light Hours. I read that this... Oh! Look at how perfect the nails are. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Oh my God. I'm going to keep this just because I want to talk about it. at the end of the year. The Trees by Percival Everett. Just talked about this one. Just talked about it. I'm probably going to give this away. I think this is a good book, but I do think that my time has passed with it, and I will put that in my to-go pile. The Princess of 72nd Street. I kind of want to keep this for now. I don't know why. Maybe we'll reevaluate and see if I actually want to keep that. Then I have this massive bag of books. I went to an event, and these are all new books that are coming out. So I would like to ideally read these. I don't know if these can go on my bookshelf because this is huge, but this is a new Joe Hill book, who, if you didn't know, is Stephen King's son. I didn't know that. When I did my Stephen King reading vlog, I found out that that was his son. Joe Hill was his son. I met him at an event, super nice guy. I'm actually interested to read this also because this is actually, these couple of books are some genres that I wouldn't usually dip into. So I think it's good. And I wanted to diversify my reading this year. So I'm staying true to that. So I will keep those, though I'm not sure if they'll go on my bookshelf because they're quite thick. I also have Warrior Princess Assassin, which, you know what, is usually not what I would read. I think that this is a is this a romantasy? I think that this is a romantasy. Which, you know what, I'd read it. I'd totally read it. Why not? The Phoenix Pencil Company by Allison King. This is, I think, more literary fiction. This is coming out soon. Yeah, I think that this one is more literary fiction. So that, I think we can put that on my shelf. And then The Macabre, A Picture is Worth 1,000 Nightmares. I think that this is horror by Kosoko Jackson, who signed the book and was so fab. A struggling painter, Lewis Dixon, is shocked when the British Museum shows an unusual interest in his art. While he's always felt there's something powerful about what he puts on canvas, he also felt there was something disturbing just under the surface, especially as he was compelled to make a painting of a painting, one that he has a connection to. The subject of his art is the one of the 10 paintings his great-grandfather created more than 100 years ago. Only Lewis's version is surreal and maybe just a touch horrific. I'll check it out. Okay, there's that. I also have some of my small little books back there, but those can stay there. I'm also probably going to have a pile of the books that I want to read next month and put them here. I found that that's really effective. I was able to read the majority of the books that I wanted to read for spring by just setting them here. I'm also realizing that my 6 modern plays I still have to read, but this is something I feel like I can just keep right there and I'll always have access to it. So, okay, piles are piling. Let's go to my bookshelf and just start to take that down. What I think is going to be most effective is if I fall over my shoe, which is what I'm doing right now, is if I start with the top, go down to the bottom, and we'll just keep making piles, baby. Okay, I have to read The Secret Door. That one I still need to do. Forge Prescriptions I still need to do by Tony O'Neill. These are very strange books, I imagine, and I can't wait to sink my teeth into those. Red Badge of Courage I still have to read. Of Mice and Men, obviously I'm going to keep this. Craftwork, I'm definitely keeping this. I finally read this after, like, swear to God, probably 4 years on my bookshelf. Probably one of my favorite books I've read so far this year. Tour de France, Tour de France, Tour de France, Tour de France. And if you are a craftwork nerd, you'll like this book. Very layman's terms, nothing too aggressive or over the top, but just a great way to get into their music. A General Theory of Oblivion. I'm going to keep it because I'm going to talk about it this year, but I'll probably end up giving this away at the end of the year. This was interesting though. And then of course Cockroaches by Scholastic Mukasanga, literally one of my favorite books of all time. Can't get rid of that. And I just love this Archipelago books. I think they're one of the coolest looking book distributors, publishing houses I should say. Always great translations, always interesting books, and just look at that, those dimensions. The scaling of this is so unique and I think it's so cool. So obviously we'll keep those. Not really an impressive getting rid of pile yet. I apologize. I'm going to keep John Steinbeck's The Moon is Down just because I want to have all of my Steinbecks together, and I've talked about this before, but I want to finish all of his books. I want to read all of my John Steinbecks. I want to make it happen. Not enough rope. For some reason, this is here. This is a play, a short, like, comedic play about a woman who is looking for rope in order to do something. I'm sure you can, unfortunately, probably imagine what she's looking for that rope for. I've actually never read the full thing, but this was given to me by a friend, and I should probably give it back to her. Will I? I don't know. John Steinbeck, Tortilla Flat, Tortilla. Make yourself a dang quesadilla. Tortilla Flat. This is my friend's book. I actually have to give it back to him, but I'm gonna keep it for now. Sorry. East of Eden. Come on now. Come on now. Whenever people talk about East of Eden, I always look at the comments and people love it. Love it, love it, love it. And I get so excited because this is truly my favorite book. The Wayward Bus by John Steinbeck as well. Not my favorite John Steinbeck, but you know, good. I think about this book actually. I think this is a great summer book, truly. I read this in the summer, so I feel inclined to recommend it in the summer. God, I got some Johnny Essies. Okay. John Irving, The World According to Garp. I could never get rid of this because this was given to me by my favorite English teacher. Really had a profound impact on me. All of my English teachers, I would say, were probably the most profound impacts on me, and I didn't realize why at the time, but as I've made this my job, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. So I love this, and I want to reread this. Picnic at Hanging Rock. I think I will probably put this in my to get rid of pile, but I want to make a video using this book as a suggestion. I think about making a mashup of books that had specific endings. You'll see. But I'm gonna probably put it in the giveaway pile. An Island by Karen Jennings. I read this last year. I thought this was great. This made my top 10. Really amazing, but I think I'm going to put that in my to give away pile. Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. I don't know if I'm gonna read this anytime soon. I guess I'll keep it, but I don't think I'm gonna read it anytime soon. Also, I wanna say I want my book case to have a lot of books that I haven't read. I want easy access to them because I feel like if I see them all the time, I'm much more inclined to pick them up, just how my mind works. A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. A summer book. Amazing. Every time I go and look at old buildings in Williamsburg or Greenpoint, I think of this book. This book is so damn good. I don't know what else I have to say. This is a damn good book. If you're on the fence about this, pick it up. I was in a bookstore the other day and it was a girl who was very obviously traveling from someplace else to New York City. She was with her mother and I overheard her. She was saying, oh, they don't have half the books that I want. But in her hand, she was carrying A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. And I wanted to say, you're gonna love that book. So I'm gonna keep that. Henry and June. I'll probably put this in my to-go pile. I read this when I was in Japan as a book club for my Patreon. Check it out. You know it. Also, we read A Tree Grows in Brooklyn for my book club. I think I'm probably gonna get rid of this. Put this in my to-go pile. Somebody else can appreciate this. George Orwell, Animal Farm. Great book. Used to be one of my favorite books of all time. So pertinent, so classic, fits into every scenario, it feels like now. Great, great, great. I'll keep that just because. Pico Iyer, Video Night in Kathmandu, and Other Reports from the Not So Far East. I still need to pick this up. Maybe I'll pick it up soon. King Kong Theory by Virginie Despentes. Oh, God, I was looking back and watching old videos, and just the way that I used to really lean into saying her name is fun. And I loved her. Myself, I mean, in the past. I'll keep this just because I think that's so sick. It's such a sick cover. It's sick. It's so sick. Okay. Susan Sontag, Regarding the Pain of Others. I will keep that. I literally think about this book all the time. Angels in America. Also read it for my book club last year. I might do another play again sometime soon because I feel like we all enjoyed this a lot. This is a play that can 100% be read as a book, and I know that I talked about A Raisin in the Sun for my short books that you can read in a day. This is a play that you can't read in a day. I mean, you can totally read it in a day, but this is, I think, over 8 hours in total. It's usually done in 2 separate viewings, broken into 2 separate sections. This was so rewarding to read. If you don't have time to read it, I highly suggest watching the HBO series. So good. And word for word adaptation. Amazing. Thoreau, Civil Disobedience, and Walden. I still need to finish this, so I gotta keep it. Dogs of Summer. I love this book. This is also technically a book that you could probably read in a day. My top 10 of last year. I'm gonna pass this off. I found this free on the side of the road. I'm gonna give it to somebody to enjoy it. So this is a great one. Crackpot by John Waters. Yeah. I love this book. Truly, will probably read this again this year. So snarky, so fun, such a diva, and I resonate with everything he says. Bear by Marian Engel. If you've been on this channel for a long time, you know that this book has been with me. This book has been with me, okay? I bought this because I was just yearning to find out why this woman was having an affair with a bear. Affair with a bear? That could be my brand. Affair with a bear. Candles by Anna. No, I wouldn't do that. Maybe. I'm on the fence. Should I get rid of this? I don't know. I have such a history with this. Maybe I'll keep it. For now, I'll keep it. Okay, The Piano Teacher. Yeah, of course I'm gonna read this. I mean, keep this. I literally cannot talk today. Of course I'm gonna keep this. This is a book I haven't talked about, but I have gotten, and I think it's maybe out now? Maybe? Archive of Unknown Universes by Ruben Reyes Jr. From the author of There Is a Rio Grande in Heaven comes a piercing debut novel following 2 families in an alternative timelines of the Salvadorian Civil War. Oh, wow. So that comes out soon. So obviously that's staying on my bookshelf. 1984 by George Orwell. Come on now. I think that these covers are so much fun. Also, nail matching, so I'm going to keep this because I want to reread it. The Wilderness by Angela Flournoy. This is also a book that's coming out in September 2025, so I still have time to get ahead of the trend. I'm just now reading a lot of arcs that I've been given. I'm really bad at reading them, but I promise that I will read them. An era-defining novel about 5 Black women over the course of their 20-year friendship. You know I love a long friendship novel, as they move through the dizzying and sometimes precarious period between young adulthood and midlife in the much-anticipated classic in the making second book from the National Book Award finalist Angela Flournoy. I have her first book, which I also need to read. An author I wasn't familiar with until this year, but seems very promising, and she seems like she's very well praised. Love in a Fallen City by Eileen Chang. I have had this for so long, and I need to read this. This has been, I think I'm gonna read it soon, maybe in the next month or 2. But this is 100% staying on there, and I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna do it. Okay. Black Swans by Eve Babbitt. I love it, want to reread it. I feel like such a cool girl when I carry it around. Hard Copy by Fine Veldman. This was kind of a little bit disappointing for me. I wanted so much more out of this. I wanted it to be weirder. This is about a girl who falls in love with a printer at her work. I think it had so much more that it could have done. I think if it's your entry level into weird books, weird premises, this is probably good, but just didn't do it for me. So I will put that in to-go pile. Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, an American Slave. This is a book that I want to read very soon. It's on my to-read list for this year, and I'm doing really well with doing that. Checking off those boxes of books that I want to read, so this will definitely be done. The Golden Cockerel and Other Writings by Juan Rulfo. Yeah, I gotta read this, though I'm nervous that this is going to send me into a little bit of a spiral. Might be a little bit too in my head sort of book. I don't know, but I gotta read it. Pink by Gus Van Sant. The book that I just can't get rid of. Oh, and ASMR. Hold on, wait. Ooh, 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 ooh. Why is the what? Why is this happening? Oh, lovely. Now the cover is fully off. I love myself. I love myself so much, and the decisions that I make in the moment. ASMR. I can't get rid of this. I don't care. I can't get rid of it. I don't care. I can't get rid of it, okay? I can't. All right. S. I might reread this, honestly. A horribly depressing, sad book about the Bosnian War. I gotta keep that. A Little History of the World by E.H. Gombrich. I enjoyed this so much. This was so much fun. I gotta keep this. Awesome Ukraine. Keeping that, obviously. The Great Gatsby, both the Ukrainian translation and the English translation. Stop Falling books. I've talked about this a million times, but I will cherish this forever. Love it. Secret History by Donna Tartt. Yeah, I'm keeping this. I'll reread this again. I don't care. This is a great book. And I get excited about the prospect of potentially rereading it again. I'll keep that. Girl. I'm going to drop it. Hi. Hello. Okay, let's just keep going, girlfriend. The Turner House by Angela Flournoy. I was just talking about her. There we go. Boom. Boom. Boom, boom. I'll put those together. Trailed. I told myself I was going to read this in like November of last year. I'll read it. David Sedaris, Theft by Finding. God, I got to reread this. If I don't reread this year, maybe I'll get rid of it, just so somebody else can have it and enjoy it and love it. This truly used to be one of my favorite books of all time, and I think I might need to reread it because this uplifted me in a way that not a lot of books have. An Anthropologist on Mars by Oliver Sacks. I loved this. I learned so much with this, but I think it's time to get rid of it. Sorry. The Other Steinbeck. Grapes of Wrath. And I'm going to say it right now. Guys, if you join my Patreon book club, we're going to be reading this in July. This is going to be my July Patreon book club pick. It's a big one, but I'm ready to read it. I think this will be a great summer read, so obviously I'm not getting rid of that. The Last American Man, I still need to read this. I'll keep that. The Passion According to G.H. This isn't even my copy, but I don't think I need this right now. This was great. I enjoyed it, but I don't think I need it. I'll give it to somebody else. Crash by J.G. Ballard. I gotta keep this just because it's wild. It's so weird. I love it. And the same goes for Confessions of a Mask by Yukio Mishima. That is literally my favorite cover of all time, I'd say. Truly, I can't get rid of it because of that. I'm an aesthetic queen. An aesthetic queen, what can I say? I have to read this. This is about a odyssey from North Korea to the West. I gotta read that. The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. I'm gonna get rid of that. I read this for my book club last year and I feel like I led everybody astray. Stop Falling. A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Part of me wants to reread this because I feel like I've read so many more disturbing books that this might not arrest me the way that it did initially when I first read it. I feel like it was the first literary fiction book I read that really shook me to my core. But now, as I've read a lot more, I'd be interested to reread it and just see what it does for me. Does it really speak to me that way anymore? I don't know. So I guess I'll keep that. Yeah, Sarah Kane, I'm keeping that. Up. The Devil in the White City by Eric Larson. This used to be one of my favorite books of all time. I don't think I'm going to get rid of this, but I think I'm going to give this back to my dad, who I originally got it from. I don't need it right now. I don't think I'm going to read it anytime soon. But yeah, this used to be one of my favorite books of all time. And I think it really is a testament to great nonfiction writing. He does it in a way that so many people don't do well. You want to keep reading. You want to keep finding out the truth. And I love the way that he writes. Now we're just getting into ones that I haven't read yet. So I don't even know if I'm going to go through those. Disruption, I'm going to keep. I've talked about this a million times before. The Material by Camille Bordas, I'm going to get rid of. Like, comment, subscribe. I still have to read this, but I'm going to read that this year. White Teeth by Zadie Smith. Great book. And then I have The Baron in the Trees by Italo Calvino, Tom Hanks, The Cigarette, The Road to the Country. I have all books, big books down here that I still have to read, but I'm not going to touch those at the moment because I have talked about them a million times on the channel before, so we're not going to talk about them right now. Now, I have a few more books and we're just gonna change position. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's more. These are the ones that I've just read recently, and yep, they're falling down. I'm going to keep these for now, but I would probably get rid of them after this year when I talk about them. After I talk about them in like my wrap up, but I'm probably gonna get rid of them at the end of this year. Culture Creep by Alice Boland. I read this recently. I thought that this was fun. It comes out this month. Great analysis on culture, definitely very personal essays. I think that there were some that were better than others. I enjoyed, she was talking a lot about teen culture, teen magazines, and it led me to read Kat Marnell's memoir, How to Murder Your Life, which I thought was so amazing. Truly one of the best memoirs I've ever read. If you haven't read it, read it. I loved it. I thought it was great. I'll probably get rid of this. Clara and the Sun. I read this for my book club. I don't know if Ishiguro is for me. I don't know if Ishiguro is for me. W.E.B. Du Bois, The Souls of Black Folk. I just read this. This was really illuminating. Interesting structure of this book. I thought it was going to be very straightforward nonfiction writing, but it weaves facts and testimonies into stories and lives lived. It was tripping me out because he kept on referencing the 60s. And in your mind, as a contemporary reader, you think 1960, but he's talking about 1860s. Liars by Sarah Manguso. This book came out last year. I'm just reading the arc of it now. I read this in a day. It's about a woman's marriage falling apart, eerily similar to her own marriage falling apart. I guess you could call this a memoir. Yeah, her ex-husband sucked. Really sucked. This was a really nice, like, vengeful read. Probably end up getting rid of that. I'll keep The Souls of Black Folk. Light Years by James Salter. Talked about it. Love this book. But amazing. Keep that. Femme by Magna Karnecki. This sent me spiraling. I felt really stupid when I tried to read this. Really stupid. So I'll probably give this away at the end of the year. Tell Me Everything by Elizabeth Strout. I loved this. I don't care if this is not like highbrow fiction. I loved this. I thought it was great. I thought it was fun. Got me back into reading, honestly. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Great old people fiction. But I'll probably give this away. To Have and Have Not. This is my dad's version, so I will not give this away. Thought that the ending of this was much stronger than the beginning. And The Miso Soup by Ryu Murakami. This was for my Patreon book club. We wanted a weird book. A weird book. And so we chose this, or I chose it, because I didn't want it to be too weird. I enjoyed my experience with this, but I'll probably give this away at the end of the year. Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. I think about this book all the time. This is about Vietnam and very singular stories of like a troop. But I'm gonna keep that because I think about that all the time. Little Children. I'll probably give this away, but I thought this was really fun. Slouching Towards Bethlehem. Awesome. So great. Yeah, loved it. Fear of Kathy Acker by Jack Skelly. So much fun. Definitely for weirdos. I'm gonna make a new like weirdos video, and I think this might make it on there. I love seeing this in bookstores. I love that people are appreciating this book. This is fun. Balls to the wall fun. A Long Way Gone, Memoirs of a Boy Soldier. I read that this year, but I'll probably give it away at the end of the year. A Sunny Place for Shady People. I don't know why I still have this, but I read this last year for our book club as well. I had a different version. I don't know why I still have this, but I would give this away at the end of the year. And then A Raisin in the Sun, which I just read, just talked about. Amazing. Literally amazing. Amazing. I still have more, actually. But I'm so fried. Do I do it? No, I'm not gonna do it. No. I have like old books that I just need to... Do I do it? Your mind is about to be blown, okay? Are you ready for this? We got some storage, okay. We got some storage alert. Also, the current book that I'm reading, nickel and dimed, on not getting by in America. 25 years late on this, but I started to see this a lot in thrift stores, and it was on the 100 greatest books of the 21st century so far, that New York Times article that everybody hated or loved. This is good. It's interesting. I would like to see an updated version. I haven't fully formed opinions about this, but something about her quest seems a little bit off to me. I don't know how to explain it. Okay. Are you ready for the true transformer? Bumblebee who, okay? Don't ask questions, okay? Don't ask questions. The observable universe, I'll get rid of that. It remains the day. I'll probably get rid of this as well. 1Q84. I'm gonna keep this, I don't care. I read this book. I'm proud of myself for reading this. I always forget that I read this book, but then I say, I read this book, and I feel great about myself, but I'm keeping it in storage. The Hypocrite by Joe Hamya. I read this last year. I will probably get rid of this as well. 100 Saturdays, Stella Levi and the Search for a Lost World. This was given to me a long time ago, and I need to read it. If I have room on my shelves, I'll put it there, so I'm reminded of it. The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. Great, beautiful book. I don't know if I'll keep this, though. Also, side note, I didn't realize how popular this book was. I thought when I picked this up that I was getting a rare James Baldwin, that I wasn't reading the one that everybody else was reading, but apparently this is hugely popular, and I'm just stupid. This is Not Miami by Fernanda Melchor. I will get rid of that. Long Island Compromise. I loved this book. I thought this was really funny, silly, and a great comedy book. I laughed. I did not cry, but I hated these people, and I loved them at the same time. I've recently watched The Righteous Gemstones, and I think it's one of the best TV shows I've ever watched in my entire life. I've never cried from laughing from a TV show until I watched The Righteous Gemstones, and now, in hindsight, this family reminds me of them, but I will get rid of this. Oh my God, there's so many books. I hate myself. On Movie Stardom and Modern Fame by Ty Burr, Gods Like Us. I read this a long time ago. I will give this away. This is all about classic Hollywood icons. David Sedaris, Calypso. I gotta get rid of that, but I love David Sedaris. This is just like a friendly giveaway. Like, I want somebody to enjoy it. Michael Cunningham, Day, a novel. I will give that away as well. Exciting Times by Nisha Dolan. Really disappointing. It was fine, but disappointing. I'll give that away. The Rich People Have Gone Away by Regina Porter. I need to read this, so I will put that on my bookshelf. William Styron, Havanas and Camelot. I love William Styron. Interesting essays. I think if he was to look back on some of the phrasing of things and the perspective of things, he might not do it, or maybe he would do it that way. But this is actually how I found The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin, because him and Baldwin were very good friends, and he writes about him. We Burn Daylight, that's an arc that I need to get to. It was published last year. This is a Waco, Texas love story, which speechless. Oleg picked this up for me, Not That Kind of Girl by Lena Dunham. You know what? I want to read that. I don't care. I didn't think I was urgently wanting to read that, but I kind of do. Great Expectations by Vincent Cunningham. I will give this away. This is like a political autofiction book. It was readable, good writing. I just didn't feel in love with it. Oh, William by Elizabeth Strout. It's in her Oh, William and Oliver Kittredge and who else? One of her other characters that she always talks about. But I'll get rid of those two. I'll give those away. On Human Bondage. This is going to stay in my storage. I started to read this a long time ago. I think I got to, what? Page 200 something, and I never finished it. But geez, I was ambitious at some point in my life. An Imaginary Life by David Malouf. This is an interesting little novel and good summer read, I'd say. I'll give this away to people, though. This is like a random zine. Oh, this is all Ukrainian artists. If you don't know, Oleg is Ukrainian. And this is all Ukrainian artists that have beautiful photography. Some people that he knows, beautiful. So obviously we'll keep that. This is an arc that I don't know if I'll ever get to read. Getting Lost by Annie Arnaud. I hated this book. Sorry, I hated it. I don't care. A Man Called Ove. Yeah, I cried like a little baby. Not the most profound thing I've ever read, but I cried. I'll give this to people. Into the Wild. I love this book. I'll keep it, but in storage. You Can't Keep a Good Woman Down by Alice Walker. I will give that away. I enjoyed that, but I'll give it away. White Oleander. I'm keeping it. I don't care. I will always feel like a 15-year-old when I read that. Another version of Mariana Enriquez's book, which I will give away. Housekeeping by Marilyn Robinson. I feel like an idiot. I did not enjoy this as much as other people loved it. Sorry. The Jeweler by Carol Lewis. This was given to me by Katie Books. This was good, but I'll probably give this away to people. A River Runs Through It. I love that cover. I enjoyed this, but I'll probably give this away. Drive, a memoir about Uber driving.
I never went to
Uber driver. Uber, I don't know Uber driver, if you know that Vine. I'll give this away. Oh my God, there's so many. Fieldwork in Ukrainian Sex. I'll keep this. This is good. This is like challenging to the heart. Blessings. I really enjoyed this book, and I think about this all the time. I think this was great, but I'll give this away so people can enjoy it. Eleanor Roosevelt autobiography. Part of me wanted to reread this, and I'll keep that. That's basically it. That's all, I think. There might be a couple more in there, but I'm so winded. That's a workout, okay? And I need to put these books back. The idea is that I am going to keep these books for now, right? And then once I think I hit 75,000 or 100,000 subscribers, I haven't decided, I'm going to do giveaways on the channel, on my Patreon, and then I think I'll have a stand in New York City where I give some books away. And I'll reference this video so people know which ones to choose from. But for now, I'm just always going through and trying to cleanse and figure out what I want to keep, what I don't want to keep. So let me bring some of those other books here. Oh my God. Yeah, New York City apartment life, baby. Just a New York City apartment life. These are the ones that I will probably give away at some point. Beautiful. Baby yacht. I'm exhausted, I'm pooped, and now I have to put all this stuff back in there. I was gonna do a whole aesthetic putting books back on my shelf, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm way too tired. Okay, I'm tired. Almost 50 books I want to give away. I'm excited. Subscribe so we can get to those numbers and so that I can give them away. I'd love to give them away to you. Join for my Patreon so you have a better chance of getting the books. And if you're in New York City, when I reach a certain number, maybe I'll give some books away. Anyway, you guys are wonderful. You're fabulous. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next one. Ah!